Hi guys, and welcome to the mental block. Sorry that I am a little late. My computer wanted to do some updating, so that's why I'm a little bit delayed. So I hope you're very well indeed. Now, it's been a crazy week. Always around, it's been a crazy week. And I think it's been a psychological week. And I've seen a lot of people standing in their own way. And don't get me wrong, I've done this myself, I've stood in my own way. So we're just going to go through a few things with you today, just explaining about the mental block and what you can do to move forward. And I want you to think of all the things you've achieved in your life, So people often get very down and upset about their physical appearance or their weight or, how they are because it's them uniquely, it's their body. It's very personal, isn't it? It's a very personal thing. And I think that's why people get so upset about it. Now, I want you to think about your job. I want you to think about all the exams you may have done. I want you to think about having babies. I want you to think about getting married, perhaps. I want you to think about maybe a time you've gone traveling. You know, things that you've done. Have you been snorkeling? Have you been scuba diving? Have you abseiled down a mountain? I want you to think about all the things that you have achieved in your life and are very proud of. And I want you to think, why did they happen? Why did they happen? What made you do it? Yeah. And I often find that when people truly want to do something or they really want to achieve something, they just do it. Yeah. And they get out of their own way and they just get on and do it. So one of the things is Duffy and I wanted to get married, but I could never envisage a time when we would be able to afford the big Irish full-on shebang wedding. But then when I put my mind to it, we did it. We got through it. We did it. We had the big shebang. We had the big full-on Irish 200 people sit down, the whole lot. We had a lot of people at the wedding. I come from a big family. Now, I always wondered how. So when you really want to do something, you'll find that you'll do it. The other thing is, change will only happen when it becomes too uncomfortable or too painful to stay where you are. That's when change happens. When people go, I can't put up with this anymore. This is too painful for me in my life. I need to change it. Yeah. And usually pain and discomfort comes before change. So I don't mind people feeling that. I think it's necessary to feel that pain and discomfort, because then I know transformation is around the corner. But when you're in the throes of disillusionment and you've gone back to old habits and you just can't do the simplest of steps to move forward, this is where I come in. So this is the mental block, and I know what happened. I know what happened. What happened was, you all had a great bank holiday, you all had a great time, probably had a little drinkies, I did too, and had a lovely time. And then we had the Tuesday come down, or as I like to refer to it as Spit the Dummy Tuesday. Yeah. And I've said it a million times, but it starts in the head before you see it in the body. You have to want that physique, you have to want that health, and you have to want it more than what you've got right now. And I think many of us, I know I've done this myself, Many of us have made friends with our miserable habits, or made friends with our misery and wallowed in it a little bit. And this is where we have to decide, am I going to stay here unhappy, or am I going to move forward? And that's why I always say to people, you've got to feel good about what you're doing. You've got to feel good, because if you feel good about the smallest of actions you are taking, you'll do more, and then you'll do more, and then you'll do more. Now, many people revert back to old habits and old miserable states because they are comfortable there. There's a comfort, there's a safety there, and that's where you're fighting against yourself, the mental block. Now, at the time, it feels like you're fighting against the world. At the time, it feels like the whole world, everything about your life is against this goal. You know, work is in the way, life is in the way, husbands, boyfriends are in the way, girlfriends are in the way, children are in the way. You know, you just feel like everything is standing in the way of this goal, but really the only thing standing in the way of this goal is you. Now, a very small shift in mentality will make life really easy. And those of you that have worked a while, you'll understand what I do. I simplify it right down. I don't ask you to do anything complicated. I may send you a few tasks every day, like drink water, eat slowly, go to bed early. I might just say, do that, just do that. And people go, okay, I can do that. Yeah. Now, the reason I do that is, and for me as well, especially, you've got to imagine there's been times where I felt life has been unfair, says the woman who does 8 hours of exercise a day and eats beautifully, and yet my Hirschsprung's disease can change my shape, and the meds can change my shape, and it's so unfair. It's not right. Why aren't I a size 8, you know? And you can get really caught up in that mental block. I've been there. I know what it's like, yeah? But if you approach it in the way that you're going to fight and you're going to battle, then the sheer thought of exercise or dieting is going to be exhausting. Just the idea of having a lettuce leaf, your body will go, oh God, you know, it'll feel tired just from doing that. So I want you to take the fight out of it. So with my law of attraction qualifications and things like that, I love the law of attraction because it's a mental tool more than anything else. When you're thinking about fighting your body and fighting your weight and fighting your health, and you're going to fight it and you're going to force it to change, you're upstream in life. You're in the river and the current is coming down and you're trying to swim upstream, and it's exhausting, it's tiring, and you're getting nowhere fast. Yeah. And all I want you to do with this mental block is, I just want you to turn around and face downstream. I just want you to turn around in life and face the way you want to go. So I want you to look at what you want to achieve. I want you to see it in your mind's eye. I want you to make that visualization so real you can reach out and touch it. I want you to know what it feels like to be in a certain health, to be in a certain fitness, to be in a certain physique. I want you to really get in, and I just want you to face downstream. You may not be swimming yet, but it's easier to float. Yeah? So at least if you're facing downstream, you're going in the right direction. What we want is downstream. I want this to be an easy thing. All my clients that are incredible, that have been incredibly successful with me, when you speak to them, they'll say, well, it was easy, really. I mean, it just kind of happened. It was easy. And it's not that they didn't do anything, or they didn't diet, or they didn't exercise or anything. But the action was easy because they were facing the right way. They weren't trying to fight themselves. They weren't trying to, go swim upstream. They just turned around in life. So work is crazy, kids are crazy, family life is crazy, social life is crazy. Accept that. It's not going to change. There's always going to be something that's going to be crazy in your life. I've had a pretty crazy week this week. So there's always going to be something that's going to be absolutely mental in your life. But all I'm asking you to do is face downstream and go with the flow. If all you can do, for example, if all you can do is drink water, then that is enough. And I really want you to think about that. If that's all you can do, then that is enough, because you've taken action. And when you take action, when you're facing downstream, and you feel good about taking that action, you will find you'll be able to take another action. Yeah. So, for example, I've had a pretty hectic week myself. We've had family issues, and my mother is awaiting an operation, and there's been lots of things going on, and I've had to postpone a beautiful holiday to Ireland because the dog swallowed a skewer and had to go into doggy hospital to have it removed. And there's been lots of things going on lately, and I decided I was just going to concentrate on getting a good night's sleep. Yeah. So that's all I was going to concentrate on, because I had the mental block. I had so much work, everything was crazy. What am I going to do? How can I stick to all these things that I want to do? And I decided all I'm going to do is concentrate on sleeping. So I've got some what's it called, NeuroRest from Amazon, which has got great reviews, and it's completely natural, it's completely herbal, and I've been taking that this week. And I thought, I'm not going to worry about food, I'm not going to worry about exercise, I'm just going to focus on that. And what's happened is, when I do exercise, I'm exercising harder, and I'm sleeping better, so I'm waking up well, I'm making better food choices, I'm eating less. And there's a science to this. If you don't sleep well, your leptin hormone is all out of place. Then you'll start craving sugar for energy. Your appetite will be raised because the body will be looking for more energy because it'll be tired. You won't want to exercise, and if you do, it'll be like a half-hearted effort. So just the simple task of just focusing on, oh look, the computer wants to restart itself, postpone. Just the simple task of focusing on one thing has had a knock-on effect with everything else. So I'm eating well, tick. I feel good because I'm getting plenty of sleep. My cortisol levels, my stress hormones will be down. My appetite is regulated. I'm eating less. When I'm exercising, I'm working out harder. So when I send people these tasks when their head is a mess and they're just going, oh my God, I can't cope with this, and I say, I want you to drink water today, and they think, this woman is crazy. She's asking me to do this thing that won't even make a difference. But it will. It is enough. And then once you do one thing, then you'll be able to do another and another and another. And that's how you get away from the mental block. Yeah, so the mental block is when you feel overwhelmed, you just can't face doing anything. That's when you just need to put one foot in front of the other and just focus on one thing. That's all. And that will be enough. But I don't want you fighting against yourself. I want you to turn downstream in the river of life. And even though you might not be swimming, you'll still be floating, and you'll be going in the right direction as well. So I know many of you had a few tantrums and tears and upheavals this week. Me too. So this is what I want you to do to get through your mental block. We're going to get out of our own way. We're going to stop fighting ourselves. We're going to face downstream, because that's where we want to go. We want it to be easy. And whatever task you choose to do, whether that be sleep, whether you decide you're going to walk to work, whether you decide you're going to drink water, whether you decide that you're going to finish work at 5 on the dot every day this week, it doesn't matter what it is. It's going to have a knock-on effect. And that will be enough to start the ball rolling towards the health you want, towards the physique you want, towards the fitness that you want. So I was really wanting to do a talk on a mental block. We've all been there. Don't tell me there's not one person out there that hasn't been in this position. You know, when there's that mountain to climb and they just can't face doing it. I love the quote when they said to the man who ran 1,000 miles, "I can't believe it. How did you run 1,000 miles?" And he said, "I didn't. I ran 1 mile 1,000 times." And so that's the way I want you to think about your health goals. Each step will take you that little bit closer to where you want to be. But I want you feeling good about it. I want it to be an easy action. Yeah? So let me give you an example of maybe how I have stood in my own way. So I complain that I'm tired and that I'm run down. Yet at 12 o'clock at night I'm watching YouTube videos. And then I get up the next day and I'm wrecked. And then I go, I'm so tired, I can't even think about exercising, you know? You can see how I've self-sabotaged there. Yeah, you know, when someone says, I am never eating chocolate again, of course you'll eat chocolate again. Of course you will. It's food, it's out there. You will eat chocolate again in your life. But people have a last supper, don't they? As if they're never going to eat chocolate again. You will eat chocolate again. So that's why I decided I was just going to give the sleep my attention. And it's had such a dramatic effect on the rest of my health and physique and exercise goals. It's just had a knock-on effect. What you can say is, I'm just not having chocolate today. I can have it tomorrow if I want. I'm just not having it today. Yeah? And I don't want you to beat yourselves up. So we say terrible things to ourselves that if someone came in off the street and said, "Listen, you fat cow, get up off that settee, you lazy devil," you would go, "How dare you?" You know, and you'd be really upset about it and you'd be really angry about it. But we say these things to ourselves all the time. And so that's why I'm wanting you to be kinder to yourself. I want you to look after you. Now, I know a lot of you out there, a lot of my clients out there are struggling at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on with injuries and sickness and family upheavals and crazy workloads and the whole lot. And I often send a message saying, you look after that and I'll look after you. And I mean that. I mean that. Don't suffer in silence. Stick with me. Yeah. And there's a reason why in Transform there's no bailouts. No bailouts allowed. It's because that's why it works. You've got to stick it through. You've got to stick with me right to the end for the full 13 weeks. That's how it works. But when the going gets tough, I'm going to simplify things. And we're just going to concentrate on very simple things that will make a massive, massive difference to you. Yeah. I often say I had a lady who was doing a lot of traveling and she was really burdened with work and she'd just split from her husband and things were bad. I won't mention her name. And she just said, I can't cope with the diet sheets and the exercise. I can't do it, Anna. So I just sent her 2 or 3 tasks a day by a text message. I've done this with some of you, you'll know, where I would say, have soup for, I always go for tomorrow so that you know what you're doing the next day. So for tomorrow, I want you to have soup for lunch, do a 3-minute step, and drink only green tea. And I just give you like 3 little tiny things to do, or go to bed early, finish eating at 7, or just simple stuff. And I would say just do your very best to do those things, and don't worry about calories, fats, proteins. Don't worry about the gym. Don't worry about anything else. Just do that. And she lost 3 stones with me doing that. And people said to her, what magic exercise plan or diet plan did she give you? And she said she just texts me 2 or 3 things every day. That's because when it gets overwhelming, you have to simplify it right down. And those small steps will get you through the mental block, and consistently they'll get you to where you want to be. So we're going to get out of our own way. I want you to pick something to concentrate on. If you want to speak to me about this, please do. I'm here to help you every step of the way. I said to one of the other girls, I know when people sign up for this, they think it's just another old program, and it's not. And the reason it's not is I'm a one-woman show, and I've been there, and I know what it's like. And the other reason is you are my walking adverts, and when you walk away from me, I want you to say, that was a good experience. I got a tremendous amount out of it. I have the tools to move forward, and I've got what I wanted, or even I'm on my way to getting what I wanted, because I know some of you might have 10 stones to lose, and you've lost 3, and you're on your way, and I don't go anywhere, do I? Those of you that have done Transform, I still stick around. I'm still there. And those of you that I've had ladies that wanting to gain weight, I've had people that are wanting to build muscle and be nice and muscly. I've got physique people that do the competitions, boxers, gymnasts, dancers, police people, army people, every type of person. Everybody wants something different. The idea is to get you to what you want. And I want you to face downstream, and I want you to be able to see what you want. And I want you to just float towards it. So I hope that's helped you a little bit with your mental blocks this week. I've had a million mental blocks. When I was younger, I suffered very badly from stage fright. And I really did. I used to die on that stage. If in order to have a career in performing arts, I had to overcome that, and it took some doing. And how I did it was, I faced downstream. I visualized what I wanted it to be, how amazing that I wanted it to be, how easy it was going to be, how great it was going to feel, and that's how I got over my stage fright. So you don't just use it for health and weight and physique. You can use it for anything in life. You can use it for work. Are you fighting work at the moment? Are you battling? Are you facing downstream? Do you know where you're going? Do you know your projects? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what actions to take? Just a little action day by day. It'll get you there by the end of the week. So I hope you're well. Please get in touch with me, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye for now. Bye.